There's a moment quiet, humiliating and sharp as a blade when you realize you're slipping, not falling, not crashing, just slowly, painfully slipping. Your goals forgotten, your strength fading, your pride hollow. You wake up one morning, look in the mirror, and you don't recognize the man staring back at you. He's softer, weaker, hesitant, and worst of all, he's comfortable with it. He's accepted the slow decay, but deep down, something in you is still alive. A whisper, a growl, a flicker of the man you used to be the man you promised you would become. This video is not for the man who complains, not for the one who blames. This is for the man who's been knocked down but knows he's not done yet. You may have failed, you may have lost, but failure didn't kill you, and that means one thing: you still have a choice. The world won't wait for you to feel ready. Your dreams won't pause until you get your mind right. No one is coming to save you, and that's your greatest gift. Because once you accept that, you stop looking outward and start looking inward. That's when the warrior is born. That's when your comeback begins. If you felt weak, lost, disconnected, this message is for you. You're not broken, you're just untrained, and everything you need is already inside you. The only question is, will you rise or will you rot? Because today is not just another day. Today is your line in the sand. This is your reckoning. Not tomorrow, not next year. Now. It starts subtly. You hit the snooze button once, then twice. Eventually, you stop setting the alarm altogether. You tell yourself you're just resting, recovering, or waiting for the right time. But days turn into weeks, and the fire that once burned inside you becomes a flickering ember. You start avoiding mirrors. You scroll through social media longer. You binge shows you don't even care about just to numb the gnawing voice in your head. The voice that says, this isn't who you were supposed to become. You feel it in your gut. That deep discomfort that says you're living below your potential. You're drifting mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and no one else may notice. But you do. Maybe you once had a plan. Maybe you were disciplined, focused, determined. But somewhere along the way, life knocked you sideways, betrayal, failure, loss, and instead of standing back up, you started sliding. Not a dramatic fall, just a slow, quiet collapse. And that's what makes it dangerous. Rock bottom is loud, it's dramatic, it wakes you up, but slipping is deceptive. You think you're managing. You tell yourself it's temporary. You still smile in public, still post curated photos, still say I'm good, but you're not good. You're disconnected from your own power. You've lost your edge. And unless you face it now, it will only get worse. There's a brutal kind of honesty that's required to change your life. You have to admit, you've let yourself go. You've tolerated your own mediocrity. You've settled. Not because you're weak, but because you forgot who the hell you are. But here's the truth. No amount of motivation, inspiration, or success hacks will save you until you face the facts. You are where you are because of choices you made or refused to make. This isn't about blaming yourself. This is about owning your story. Because the man who owns his truth can rebuild. The man who lies to himself is already defeated. Start here. Take a notebook. Sit in silence. Write the answers to these questions with ruthless honesty. Where am I slipping? What am I pretending not to see? Who do I blame that I need to forgive or let go of? What habits are destroying me quietly? Be specific. Be brutal. No one's gonna read it, but you. And when you've written it all out, look at that page. Not with shame, with clarity, because awareness is the first weapon in the warrior's arsenal. Once you see the truth, you can fight. Let me tell you about a man named Chris. 3 years ago, he was a regional sales director, top earner, company car dream home. Then it fell apart. Divorce, layoff debt. He ended up driving for a food delivery app just to survive. But one morning, Chris did something different. He stopped blaming. He stopped numbing. He picked up a pen and wrote, "I'm not done." That sentence changed his life. It didn't fix everything overnight, but it shifted something. He started running again, reading again. He picked up a side hustle, found a mentor. He didn't bounce back, he rebuilt himself from the ground up. That's the point. You don't need a miracle. You don't need the perfect plan. You need to wake up. And waking up starts with one brutal realization. I'm slipping, but I refuse to fall. This is the beginning of your return. Not with fireworks, with awareness, with choice. Because once you see what you've become, you can choose what to become next. Nobody is coming. That's the harshest truth most men avoid. There is no cavalry. No mentor will knock on your door. No woman will save you. And the world doesn't care about your potential. It only responds to your performance. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you'll wake up the warrior inside. You see, there's something primal buried beneath the surface of every man. It's not about ego or testosterone. It's about responsibility. It's about fight. It's about standing tall in a world that wants you small, quiet, and compliant. That fire is still inside you, but you've buried it under excuses, distractions, and comfortable lies, and now it's time to dig it out. So how you don't need motivation. You need motion, action, discipline, consistency. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you did something hard on purpose? When was the last time you put your body through pain just to remind your mind that you're alive? When was the last time you kept a promise to yourself? Discipline is the tool of the warrior, and if you want your power back, you have to earn it, rep by rep, step by step, day by day. Start simple. Wake up at the same time every day. No negotiation. Train your body, sweat, lift, run. Move like your survival depends on it. Eat clean. Not for aesthetics, but for respect. Keep a journal, write what you feel, what you fear, what you're fighting for. Cut out the poison social. Media, overload porn, alcohol, junk food, and toxic people. These aren't life hacks. They're battle strategies. They're how warriors rebuild. Take David Goggins. Once obese, depressed, a failure. Today, a world-class endurance athlete. Navy SEAL author and living embodiment of the phrase, stay hard. How did he do it? He stopped negotiating with weakness. He decided to get uncomfortable every single day. Not because it felt good, but because he wanted his life back. You want that too. You want to look in the mirror and respect the man staring back. You want to walk into a room and feel like a weapon, not a ghost. You want to know that whatever life throws at you, you've built the strength to handle it. So start building and understand this. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your discipline. That's not just a quote. It's a law of reality. You can visualize success all day, but if your habits are trash, your life will be too. You can talk about purpose, but if you hit snooze 5 times every morning, you're living a lie. Pain is coming either way, pain of discipline or pain of regret. One builds you, the other breaks you. Make the right choice, because every time you get up when you don't feel like it, every time you train when no one's watching, every time you say no to weakness, you're building the warrior, brick by brick, habit by habit. You're becoming dangerous again in the best way possible. Not to harm others, but to defend your peace. Not to control people, but to control yourself. Not to prove anything, but to know deep in your bones, I can handle anything. That's the moment your comeback becomes inevitable. When no one else believes but you do. Because belief without proof is the essence of power, and that power is yours to reclaim. Remember when you believed in yourself, not just casually, but fiercely. When you looked at the world like it owed you nothing, and you were still ready to take everything you deserved when you had fire in your eyes. And a vision so vivid you could taste it. What happened to that man? He's not gone. He's buried beneath doubt, failure, betrayal, fatigue. But he's still in there, and it's time to bring him back. You didn't come this far to become a ghost of your former self. You didn't survive everything you've been through just to exist. You're here for more, and you know it. But knowing is not enough. Wanting is not enough. Talking, dreaming, wishing, it's all noise without action. You must become the man you said you would be. Not someday, not when I'm ready. Now, so how do you do that? You start by creating a vision. Not a vague goal, but a clear, defined picture of who that man is. Ask yourself, how does he carry himself? How does he speak, train, think? What are his habits, his standards, his code? Write it all down. Not as a wish list, as an identity. Then every single day you act like that man. You move like him. You speak like him. You fight like him, even when no one's watching, especially then. This is what the greats understand. You don't wait until you feel like it. You move first. Action breeds identity. Identity reinforces behavior. You become the man by behaving like him, and slowly the world will catch up. That's the essence of transformation. Not fake it until you make it, but behave it until you become it. Let's talk routine. Winners don't negotiate with laziness. They rise early, not for aesthetics, but for clarity. They train daily, not for abs, but for discipline. They read. Reflect not to impress others, but to sharpen the mind. If you want to be the man, act like him now, even if your bank account says otherwise, even if your past haunts you, even if no one claps for you, because if you wait for applause, you'll wait forever. Your transformation is your responsibility. And yes, it'll be uncomfortable. People will mock you, your own mind will resist old habits, will scream for attention. But let them scream, you've listened long enough, now you lead. Cut the dead weight. That means people who drain your energy, habits that numb your focus, beliefs that keep you small. You can't rebuild your life while dragging the wreckage of your past behind you. You have to burn the excuses. Every single one. And here's the truth you need to own. No one's coming to validate your journey. This is a solo war. But if you keep going, if you stay locked in, even when it's lonely, you will emerge, transformed, unbreakable, respected. First by yourself, then by others. Because the man who honors his own word becomes unstoppable. So reclaim the vision. Write the contract. Sign it with your sweat. Enforce it with your discipline. Because the world doesn't need more noise. It needs you, the real you. And you're not far off. You're one decision away. So decide. This isn't the end. It's the beginning. Not of a perfect journey, but of a real one. One where you show up every damn day regardless of how you feel. One where you fall, bleed, crawl, but never break. You've seen the truth. You've remembered your fire. And now it's time to fight. You're not the same man who hit play on this video. You're not waiting anymore. You're not hoping. You're moving. And with every step, you become more than what you were. You become a force, a presence, a man of depth, discipline, and direction. That is the warrior's path. Not for attention, not for praise, but for yourself. For the man you promised you'd become when you were still young, hungry, and fearless. He's still inside you. Now it's your job to bring him back. So don't walk away. Inspired. Walk away committed. Rebuild your body. Sharpen your mind. Guard your time and never again let the world dim your fire. You are not finished. You are forged. This is your comeback. This is your war. And you are the warrior.